All right, so picture this, you're in Paris, right? Guidebook in hand, but like utterly overwhelmed by just the sheer number of things to do.
Oh, yeah,
Sound familiar?
definitely.
Well, that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. We're diving into Paris, a guide to tourist activities, to help you kind of navigate all those choices and uncover those experiences that will really make your trip memorable.
You know, it's interesting because this guidebook, it really reflects how Paris caters to, like, such a wide range of interests. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like blending that classic stuff with the unexpected.
Totally. And I have to admit, some of these activities surprised me. Hot air ballooning over Paris.
Oh, wow.
That's not your typical tourist activity, is it?
Not typical, no.
Wow.
But definitely unforgettable.
Sure.
And it actually ties into like a rich history of scientific innovation in France. Remember the Montgolfier brothers?
Yeah.
They launched the first hot air balloon in Paris back in the 1700s.
Oh, wow.
Imagine the city they saw from above back then.
Yeah, it's like getting a glimpse of Paris through time, but with like a modern twist. Speaking of modern twists, this guidebook even includes Disneyland Paris.
Oh, yeah.
I know Disneyland might seem a little out of place in the City of Lights, but
But this isn't just any Disneyland. They've incorporated elements of like European folklore and storytelling that you won't find anywhere else. So even if you think you've done Disneyland, this one offers a fresh perspective.
okay, I'm intrigued. Now, for those of us who love to just soak up the atmosphere of a city, the guidebook highlights Paris's famous literary cafes. I'm talking Café de Flore, Les Deux Mogots, places where literary giants like Hemingway and Sartre used to hang out.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine the conversations that happen in those cafes?
It's incredible to think about, you know, those iconic figures just sitting in those same chairs, sipping their coffee, maybe like scribbling down ideas on a napkin.
Yeah.
Talk about inspiration.
Yeah. Right. And for those seeking a different kind of inspiration, maybe something a little edgier, the guidebook suggests street art tours. I always thought of Paris as being all about museums. But apparently its street art scene is really something special.
Yeah, especially in neighborhoods like Belleville and the 13th arrondissement.
Uh-huh.
You'll find murals, stencils, installations. It's like an open-air museum that's constantly evolving.
And it gives you a chance to explore different parts of the city that you might not otherwise visit. Speaking of exploring the city in unique ways, this guidebook totally surprised me with entry for rollerblading.
Ah, yes, the Paris roller event.
Rollerblading.
Yeah, it's actually a great way to see the city safely because you're rollerblading with like a huge group on Friday nights.
Okay.
Plus, think about how much ground you can cover. You're not stuck in traffic. You're gliding past landmarks. It's a totally different experience.
I love how this guidebook keeps challenging my preconceived notions of what you can do in Paris. I mean, I never would have associated Paris with rock climbing, but
But indoor climbing gyms are becoming like increasingly popular in cities, and Paris is no exception.
right.
It's a great way to get a workout challenge yourself and maybe even conquer a few fears.
Yeah,
You know, climbing is a great metaphor for pushing your boundaries and achieving new heights.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like even on vacation, you can still challenge yourself and discover new passions. Now, whether you're visiting in the summer or winter, Paris has something special to offer. I was particularly intrigued by the concept of Paris plages, beaches along the Seine, in the middle of the city.
It's a temporary transformation that happens every summer. They bring in sand, set up volleyball courts, deck chairs, and even misting stations. It's a really clever way to utilize urban space and bring a little bit of the seaside to the heart of Paris.
It's like they're saying, hey, you don't have to leave the city to enjoy summer. And then on the flip side, you have the magic of the Christmas markets during the winter. The guidebook really paints a picture of those markets. The twinkling lights, the aroma of roasted chestnuts and mulled wine.
I love it.
It sounds
Yeah,
so
dude.
cozy and festive.
It is. And beyond the atmosphere, the Christmas markets are a great place to find unique handmade gifts. It's a chance to discover local crafts and bring home a piece of Parisian charm.
So you can experience the city's creativity in a tangible way. Now let's step outside the city limits for a moment. The guidebook highlights two very different day trip options. Versailles, the lavish palace of the Sun King, and Giverny-Monet's beautiful gardens.
It's a fascinating contrast, isn't it? Versailles represents like the grandeur and opulence of the French monarchy, while Giverny offers a glimpse into the artistic soul of one of France's most celebrated painters.
Yeah.
It's almost like choosing between two different facets of French history and culture.
And it really underscores how much variety there is just outside of Paris. So we've covered quite a bit of ground, from soaring above the city in a hot air balloon to exploring its vibrant street art scene to venturing beyond the city limits to immerse ourselves in history and art.
And we've only just scratched the surface. But what's interesting is that we're not just listing activities, we're exploring the different ways they connect to the essence of Paris.
You're right. It's about discovering what resonates with you, what piques your curiosity, what makes you say, I have to experience that. So, dear listener, as you imagine yourself wandering those Parisian streets, what's catching your eye? What's calling to your inner explorer?
You know, for those seeking like a more classic Parisian experience, there's nothing quite like a boat tour along the Seine.
Oh, yeah.
It's a chance to see those iconic landmarks, like the Eiffel Tower and Notre-Dame, from a totally different perspective.
Oh, I can imagine that gentle rocking, the sunlight glinting off the water. It sounds so peaceful and romantic. But I have to ask, what about those of us who are more interested in exploring Paris's artistic side?
Well, the guidebook certainly doesn't disappoint there. It dedicates a significant portion to the city's incredible museums.
Okay.
Of course, there's the Louvre, home to masterpieces like the Mona Lisa and Venus de Milo, which is practically like a pilgrimage for art lovers.
Right.
But there are also like smaller, more specialized museums that offer deeper dive into specific periods or movements.
I'm curious, are there any lesser-known museums that you think capture a different side of Paris?
Oh, absolutely. The Musée d'Orsay, housed in a former railway station.
Oh, wow.
It's a must-see for anyone interested in Impressionism and Post-Impressionism.
Okay.
The building itself is a work of art, and the collection includes iconic pieces by artists like Monet Renoir and Van Gogh.
Wow, so you're surrounded by beauty both inside and out. And then for those who prefer something a little more modern, there's the Centre Pompidou, with its striking inside-out architecture.
It's a bold statement, that's for sure. And the collection focuses on modern and contemporary art, so it's a great place to see how art has evolved over the last century.
So much art to explore. But Paris isn't just about visual art, right? It's also a city with a rich performing arts scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The guidebook suggests experiencing a performance at the historic Opera Garnier, which is an architectural marvel in its own right.
Right.
But it also mentions the Opera Bastille, which is a more modern venue. And then, of course, there's the vibrant theater scene with productions ranging from classic plays to experimental works.
So much to choose from. It sounds like there's something for every taste. But let's be real. Sometimes you need a break from all that culture and just want to let loose a little.
Well, Paris doesn't disappoint when it comes to nightlife.
Yeah.
The guidebook mentions the legendary Moulin Rouge with its captivating can-can dancers. But it also delves into like the trendy bars and clubs in neighborhoods like Le Marais and Pigalle.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the city has a split personality, sophisticated and elegant by day, then vibrant and energetic by night. Speaking of energy, I was surprised to see how many sports and outdoor activities are mentioned in the guidebook.
Paris is a surprisingly active city. The guidebook recommends everything from cycling and rollerblading to jogging and even tennis.
Really?
It emphasizes how bike-friendly Paris has become, suggesting renting a bike or taking a guided cycling tour to explore the charming streets and hidden alleyways.
I love that idea. Whizzing past those historic buildings on two wheels, it sounds like a really fun way to get some exercise and see the city from a different perspective. And of course, we've already discussed the Paris roller event, but the guidebook also encourages simply putting on your skates and exploring at your own pace.
There's something liberating about rollerblading, isn't there? It's like you're gliding through the city, feeling the wind in your hair. And for the more adventurous, there's always rock climbing.
We talked about indoor climbing gyms earlier, but are there any outdoor climbing spots in Paris?
There are. The guidebook mentions a few spots in and around the city, but it emphasizes that indoor climbing is definitely more popular.
It makes sense. You can control the environment and maybe not worry so much about those unpredictable Parisian weather changes. What's becoming clear is that Paris is all about offering a diverse range of experiences, catering to a multitude of interests.
Exactly. Whether you're an art enthusiast, a history buff, a thrill seeker, or simply someone who enjoys wandering picturesque streets, Paris has something for everyone.
It's a city that seamlessly blends the traditional with the modern, the grand with the intimate. Speaking of which, let's circle back to those seasonal delights that caught our eye earlier. Paris Plage, with its pop-up beaches along the Seine, sounds like the perfect summer escape right in the heart of the city.
It's a testament to Parisian creativity, transforming a typically urban space into a summer oasis. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the enchanting Christmas markets with their twinkling lights and festive atmosphere.
It seems like no matter the season, Paris is a city that knows how to celebrate.
Absolutely. And let's not forget those captivating day trip options that offer a glimpse into the world beyond the city Versailles, with its opulent palace and expansive gardens, transports you back to the era of French royalty.
And for art lovers, Giverny Claude Monet's beloved home and gardens provides a unique window into the inspiration behind his iconic Impressionist paintings.
Each destination adds a layer of depth to your Parisian experience, showcasing the richness and diversity of French history and culture.
We've certainly covered a lot of ground today, exploring everything from hot air balloons to literary cafes, from rollerblading to opera houses. It's clear that Paris is a city that defies easy categorization.
And that's what makes it so fascinating. There's a sense of endless discovery in Paris.
Yeah.
It's a city that constantly surprises and delights, offering something new around every corner.
So, dear listener, as you plan your Parisian adventure, remember that this guidebook is just a starting point. The true magic of Paris lies in those unexpected encounters, those hidden gems you stumble upon while exploring its diverse neighborhoods.
Don't be afraid to venture off the beaten path, to follow your curiosity, to embrace the unexpected.
Because it's in those moments of serendipitous discovery that you'll truly connect with the spirit of Paris. Okay, so we've explored like a ton of options, right?
Yeah.
But I want to shift gears for a moment and talk about like why these activities matter. It's easy to get caught up in the what of a trip, checking things off a list. But I think the real value comes from understanding the why. Why should someone choose a hot air balloon ride over, say, a visit to the Louvre? What makes each experience unique and meaningful?
That's a great point. Each activity offers a different lens through which to experience Paris. Like a hot air balloon ride isn't just about the thrill, it's about seeing the city's layout from a whole new perspective, understanding how its geography has shaped its history.
So it's not just about the activity itself, but the insights it unlocks.
Exactly. Sipping coffee at a literary cafe isn't just about the caffeine. It's about connecting with the intellectual spirit of Paris, imagining the writers and artists who found inspiration in those same spaces. Attending a performance at the Opera Garnier isn't just about the music. It's about immersing yourself in the grandeur of Parisian culture and history.
Yeah, it's about feeling those layers of history, the echoes of creativity, the pulse of Parisian life.
Precisely. And that's what we've tried to do in this deep dive. Go beyond simply listing activities and explore the deeper meaning behind each experience.
So, dear listener, as you plan your trip, think about what you want to get out of it. Do you crave adventure, artistic inspiration, a taste of history? Once you figure out your why, what will become much clearer.
And remember, Paris is a city that rewards exploration. Don't be afraid to deviate from the guidebook, wander down those side streets, and discover those hidden gems that speak to your soul.
Because ultimately, the most memorable experiences are often the ones you create yourself, the ones that aren't in any guidebook.
Exactly. Paris is a city that invites you to write your own story.
So there you have it, our deep dive into Parisian tourist activities. We've gone from feeling overwhelmed to having a framework for choosing experiences that truly resonate.
Now it's your turn to take this information to account. Embrace your inner explorer and create a Parisian adventure that's as unique and wonderful as you are.
And who knows, maybe you'll stumble upon a hidden courtyard, a charming bookstore, a breathtaking view that becomes your own special memory of Paris. Until next time, bon voyage.